At a closed-door Republican dinner in Washington, U.S. President Trump made some striking remarks that directly relate to the assessment of the outcome of the India-Pakistan air battle. He first boasted about having prevented many wars, then shifted the topic to the India-Pakistan conflict, claiming, "I believe 5 fighter jets were shot down, really shot down. 4 or 5, I think it was 5. Although Trump did not specify which side's aircraft were lost, considering that Pakistan had repeatedly emphasized shooting down 5 Indian fighter jets in the February 27 air battle and had provided radar data as evidence, his statement undoubtedly endorsed Pakistan's claim and provided significant international support for Pakistan in public opinion. What is even more noteworthy is that prior to this, Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff, General Munir, had gone alone to the White House for a closed-door meeting with Trump, with no elected officials present. This rare instance of military diplomacy immediately triggered strong alarm on the Indian side. Indian media generally interpreted this as a policy shift by the United States regarding the Middle East conflict, the Iran issue, and the nuclear stability between India and Pakistan. Trump spoke very highly of Munir, saying that he helped us prevent a war. Combined with Trump's recent claim of shooting down 5 fighter jets, this seems more like a retroactive validation of the results, further solidifying Pakistan's image as the victor in this conflict. There is no doubt that Trump's remarks will make India feel furious. Since the end of the 1957 air battle, the Indian government has always kept the details of the air combat shrouded in secrecy, only vaguely admitting to some losses, and repeatedly denying Pakistan's claim of shooting down 5 Indian fighter jets, dismissing it as propaganda. To this day, neither the Indian Ministry of Defense nor the Air Force Command has released a specific list of battle losses. This attitude has not only drawn criticism from hardliners within India, but has also led international public opinion to generally believe Pakistan's claims of victory. And with Trump's endorsement, it's as if India has been publicly humiliated in front of the whole world. For India, even a vague affirmation like this is enough to make it lose face completely in the current public opinion climate. Previously, India took a series of measures, including giving a 10-day holiday and launching a global publicity campaign, in an attempt to turn the situation around. However, these efforts seem to have had little effect. They tried to cover up lies with more lies, but ultimately failed to convince the outside world that they had achieved victory in the air battle. On the contrary, the United States proactively recognized Pakistan's achievements, making any further arguments from India seem weak and even self-contradictory. What's even more embarrassing is that, to this day, India has not only failed to convince other countries, but hasn't even fully convinced its own people. If India had admitted defeat from the very beginning, the issue might have lost its heat long ago. But the more India refuses to admit it, the more curious the public becomes, wanting to see just how stubborn India can be. Every time India gets slapped in the face, it suffers a huge negative impact. From this incident, it's clear that India not only has limited strength in direct warfare, but also faces serious problems in handling public opinion battles. They failed to effectively control the narrative, instead allowing Pakistan and the United States to seize the initiative in public opinion. Trump's statement was actually a political signal, indicating that the United States is willing to readjust the balance of power in South Asian geopolitics. Although the United States has maintained a strategic partnership with India for several years, Pakistan is, after all, a formal ally of the US. For Pakistan, this is undoubtedly a strategic victory. They achieved key results in the military confrontation and even received recognition from the United States. This not only elevated Pakistan's international standing, but also boosted its strategic confidence in the South Asian region. India's previous efforts seemed even more laughable in the face of Trump's statement, and also exposed its lack of experience in international politics and the battle for public opinion. They tried to cover up the facts, but in the end, they shot themselves in the foot. And the United States' recognition of Pakistan's achievements will undoubtedly become an important turning point in the future development of India-Pakistan relations, and will also bring new changes to the international community's perception of this conflict. India's response strategy not only failed to achieve the expected results, but actually backfired, further damaging its international image. The outcome of this war of public opinion has also provided valuable lessons for other countries. Honesty and transparency are crucial in international affairs. Any attempt to cover up the truth will ultimately be condemned by the international community. India must seriously reflect on its performance in this incident and learn from it to avoid similar events from happening again. This incident also highlights the complexity and volatility of international relations, as well as the impact of great power rivalry on regional situations.